Hey guys, it's Marcus from Team Shock the World. I'm here to talk to you guys about the September 2013 ban list sent here from Vexcus4666. Subscribe to this channel. He goes to my locals and he seems like a pretty cool guy. But yeah, I'll get right into the ban list. First off, I've got Super Rejuvenation and Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Super Rejuvenation is obvious because it's in my opinion, is the main reason dragons are as broken as they are. I know people are like, oh, well, even if they hit Super Rejuve, they can run Sacred Sword and this and that. Yeah, they can. But the deck won't be tier 0 anymore. It'll be tier 1 where it's competing at a meta where other decks can compete. Because the fact that they can drop 2 Dragosacks or a Dragosack and then draw 4, 5, 6 cards at their end phase is, it's just, they didn't do anything. They kept 6 cards in hand, they gained a field of 4 cards, 3 cards, and one of them unable to be destroyed. So no deck should plus like that. I mean, there's a reason that card needs to get hit. And then Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. The reason I believe she's going to get hit is because she is the middleman. I believe that she might be a he. Is the middleman. I mean, Judgment is not broken, not nearly as broken, I should say, without that card. Because if you can't go Secret, search your Magician, get Masters, you have to rely on drawing another Spellcaster type monster. Which, may I remind you, Konami wants you to play more Spellcasters in Spellbooks because they are making more in the next sets. Just saying. But on top of that, I mean, with Magician, first turn off Secrets. If you can play Magician, then that axis, that brings out your Masters. And Masters is the second step, or the third step. And without Magician there to, benefit, to search, not only search for the Masters, but also provide to be the monster on field for Masters and Fate. Oh, sorry, I'm sick. But, and Fate, so, I mean, Magician is, in my opinion, needs to get hit because, I mean, if you get rid of Secrets, you hurt the deck completely too much because then you can't access anything. If you hit Magician, though, then you're stopping the Judgment play from plussing 3, 4, 5, 90% of the time. And now to where they're only plussing 1, 2, maybe 3. So it forces them to play either more spells and drop the whole Masters idea, or put them down to 1, or play more Spellbook monsters, which they want you to play the other spell cards or the other Spellbook monsters or Prophecy monsters. So yeah, but let's get to the limited list. I think Big Eye will get limited because I do believe it'll get reprinted, and if that card gets reprinted, they want to sell it. And on top of that, it's not a game-changing card. Like, it turns games around. Not like that. I mean, I'm talking about it is not the card that affects the whole meta. That Big Eye just needs to get hit because, there's no need for it anymore, and it's just unhealthy for the game. It's at 1 it is alright because it's not a constant repeating factor. But at 3 it's just, against any Raud deck, they're going to beat you just because they'll steal your cards and you can't do anything about it. So yeah, and even against, the mirror match and stuff, the Big Eye battles are just insane. That should not happen. But yeah, I mean, limiting in 1 will, prevent a lot of that. So yeah. And then I think Mermails are going to get a similar treatment that Inzektor's got, sadly, because of how well they did in Japan and here before Dragons and Prophecies blew up. So I think Dragoons and Abyss Sphere are going to 1. Dragoon's obvious because it's your searcher, it searches out everything. And then Abyss Sphere because if you can't access the Linde as easily as Abyss Sphere does, then Linde's not as broken of a card. Linde is extremely broken when you have the Sphere with it, but when you have to set it for a turn, it's a lot slower. So yeah. And then I think Spellbook Starhall will get limited to 1. The reason for that, in my opinion, is because if they're not constantly boosting their cards then you're fine. Like, because if as long as their monsters aren't beefy, like you can recover from a lot just from summoning cards, and they can only fate so much, even though they recycle it and all. But I mean, if with Star Hall at 1, it's gonna take them a whole lot longer to beat you, and the fact when they have multiple Star Halls out on field, it's almost hard to heavy when they have Tower and 2 Star Hall, because not only are they getting 2 searches, but they're special summoning monsters. So I think Star Hall 1 would just be healthy for the game. Semi-limited cards like Black Whirlwind, I think they're going to ease back into the game, like, because Black Wings, they're just not what they used to be. So I think they can slowly come back. Like cards like Black Whirlwind should come back, and then Mizuki, I think, should come back to 2 because zombies aren't big, and even with it at 2, I doubt they'd be big. And then Ophion. I think Ophion will go to 2, and it'll be similar to like a Shien treatment, where it's there, but with Konami coming out with new cards that will special summon, like with all these new exceeds, you're going to be wanting to special summon level 5 or higher monsters so you can exceed into them. That's what Konami's want to do. And Konami's wanting to bring back synchro monsters. Now, if Ophion stays at 3 or 2, it might even go to 1. If Ophion stays, though, it's going to be harder for those decks to see as much play, and that's why decks like Evil Swarm may be big next format. And then on my unlimited list, TG Striker, because that card did not deserve to get hit in the first place. And if it was, you'd think it'd go to 2, not 1, but it's fine to be at 3 now. And then the Agent Earth, I don't know its full name, but because fairies just aren't as fast anymore, I think they could still somewhat compete. I mean, that's where I got my top at a regional, was with Chaos Fairies when Mermails were big and Windups were big. So I mean, the deck can still compete, but it's just not what it used to be, and I think it'd be okay, and it'd be perfectly fine for the game to come up to 3. But yeah, this has been Marcus with the ban list discussion from Team Shock the World. Shout out to Vexcus4666. He was the one who gave me the idea to do this early on. And like, comment, and subscribe.